The first step toward achieving greatness, toward realizing your dreams, begins in the mind. It begins with what you tell yourself every single day, before the world speaks to you, before circumstances attempt to define your reality, before anyone else can cast doubt upon your potential. There is a power within you that is far greater than you often acknowledge, and that power is activated by belief. Self-belief is not just a feeling, it is a decision. It is a declaration that no matter what life presents, you possess the capacity to rise above it. When you wake up in the morning and say to yourself, "I can do this," you are not merely repeating a phrase. You are awakening the force within your soul that was designed to overcome, to persist, and to triumph. Your mind is the command center of your life. Everything you achieve, every opportunity you seize, every obstacle you overcome, begins with the way you perceive yourself. If you believe you are weak, life will test that weakness. If you believe you are limited, the world will conspire to reinforce those limits. But if you believe you are capable, if you affirm daily that you have the strength, the intelligence, the wisdom, and the resilience to succeed, then nothing can stop you from reaching the potential that lies dormant within. This is the essence of personal empowerment. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is not pride or a false sense of superiority. It is the quiet assurance that you have been created with abilities and talents uniquely suited to the challenges you will face. Every person who has ever accomplished greatness has first believed in themselves. Every invention, every movement, every breakthrough began with someone saying to themselves, in the silence of their mind or the quiet of their room, "I can do this." When you embrace self-belief, you are essentially telling the universe, telling your circumstances, and most importantly, telling your own heart that you are ready to act. There is an energy that flows from belief, a magnetic force that draws resources, solutions, and opportunities toward you. When your mind is convinced of your ability, your actions align with that belief, and your spirit becomes a vessel of unstoppable determination. Many people underestimate the power of what they say to themselves. Words are not empty sounds. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. What you speak internally grows and manifests externally. If you constantly tell yourself that challenges are too great or that you are not enough, you are nurturing doubt. But when you begin each day with the affirmation, "I can do this," you are planting seeds of courage, of persistence, of resilience. Over time, these seeds take root and blossom into results. Your mind begins to work differently. Problems no longer intimidate you. They invite you to find solutions. Obstacles no longer discourage you. They become stepping stones toward your purpose. Belief reshapes perception, and perception governs action. Self-belief also shields you from the negative voices around you. There will always be people who question your ability, who doubt your vision, who cannot see the possibilities you see. But the voice within, the one you cultivate through daily affirmation, becomes stronger than any external noise. When you rise every morning and declare your capacity to succeed, you are building an internal fortress. No criticism, no comparison, no setback can penetrate this fortress because it is founded on the unshakable truth of your potential. You are not defined by past failures, by current circumstances, or by the opinions of others. You are defined by your belief in your ability to rise, to grow, to accomplish what others deem impossible. It is essential to understand that self-belief is cultivated, not inherited. It is not something you are born with in perfect measure, but something you develop intentionally. Each morning, as you wake and speak life into your potential, you are strengthening this belief muscle. Like physical strength, belief grows through exercise, repetition, and discipline. The more consistently you affirm your capability, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, and the more naturally your actions reflect that truth. Soon, confidence is no longer a forced statement. It becomes the natural expression of who you are. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable begin to diminish in the face of your unwavering inner conviction. Ultimately, the power of self-belief is transformative. It changes not only how you view yourself, but also how you engage with the world. It transforms hesitation into action, fear into courage, and doubt into determination. Saying, "I can do this," is a spiritual, mental, and emotional commitment to yourself, a daily investment in your growth and your future. The moment you embrace this power, life begins to open doors that were once closed, reveal paths that were once hidden, and bring people opportunities and resources that align with your affirmed purpose. Your journey to success, to fulfillment, to greatness begins with one powerful, deliberate statement: "I can do this." The moment you open your eyes in the morning, you are presented with a choice. You can allow the world, your circumstances, or the opinions of others to dictate your day. Or you can take control of your mind and set the tone for every hour that follows. Daily affirmation is the tool, the habit, and the secret that empowers you to take that control. It is not a mere ritual or a passing exercise. It is the foundation upon which your life is built. What you declare to yourself consistently shapes your reality because your words carry power far beyond their sound. They influence your emotions, they shape your decisions, and they attract the circumstances that align with your declared beliefs. When you wake up each morning and boldly say, "I can do this," you are not just motivating yourself, you are programming your mind for success, resilience, and determination. Each repetition reinforces your inner belief system, reminding your subconscious that you are capable, prepared, and destined for achievement. Daily affirmation works because it bypasses the chatter of doubt and the noise of fear. Life will present challenges, distractions, and difficulties, and if you allow your mind to start the day passively, it will absorb negativity from your environment. But when you affirm your strength, your purpose, and your capability, you are creating a mental shield. You are giving yourself a frame of reference that is anchored in possibility rather than limitation. The words you speak each morning become a standard for your behavior throughout the day. They tell your mind what is expected, what is acceptable, and what is achievable. Your actions follow your words, and your life becomes a reflection of the affirmations you embrace. Without this practice, you risk being reactive, swayed by circumstances and opinions, drifting through your day without intention. But with it, you move with direction, focus, and an unshakable sense of purpose. Repetition is the key to mastery in this process. The first time you speak an affirmation, it may feel awkward, even unnecessary. Doubt may whisper, "Does this really make a difference?" But like any muscle, belief strengthens with exercise. The more consistently you affirm your ability to overcome, your right to succeed, and your power to achieve, the more deeply these truths become embedded in your subconscious mind. Eventually, your daily affirmation no longer requires effort. It becomes a natural expression of who you are. Your confidence grows not from external validation, but from an internal certainty that you possess the tools, wisdom, and resilience to meet whatever challenges arise. Each morning is an opportunity to remind yourself of your inherent greatness, to realign your mind with your highest potential, and to set a trajectory that your actions will follow for the entire day. Affirmation is also a declaration of self-respect. By speaking life into your potential, you are telling yourself that you deserve success, that your dreams are valid, and that your contribution to the world matters. Too often, people underestimate their own value, accepting limitations imposed by society, circumstance, or negative self-talk. Daily affirmation reverses that pattern. It reminds you that you are a force uniquely equipped to impact the world and that your purpose is significant. When you affirm your capability each morning, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to hear solutions where others hear problems. You begin to act boldly in situations where hesitation would have held you back. The practice of daily affirmation is not just about motivation, it is about transformation. It transforms the way you think, the way you act, and the way the world perceives you. People respond to confidence and certainty because these qualities are rooted in clarity of purpose and belief in oneself. When you begin your day affirming, "I can do this," you send a message to your mind, your spirit, and the universe that you are aligned with your goals. You are declaring that you are committed to facing challenges, overcoming setbacks, and embracing your potential. This commitment becomes a magnet for growth, resilience, and achievement, and it ensures that each day builds upon the momentum of the one before. Daily affirmation also strengthens your emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and obstacles will inevitably appear. But when you have anchored your mind in positive declarations, you are less likely to be overwhelmed by fear, doubt, or frustration. Affirmations are reminders of your capacity to persevere, your right to succeed, and your ability to navigate life's storms. They serve as a constant compass, guiding you towards solutions, clarity, and productive action, even when circumstances seem uncertain or challenging. In essence, affirmation is both a shield and a sword. It protects your mind from negativity while empowering you to conquer obstacles and pursue your purpose with unwavering determination. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world, and it is the architect of your destiny. Every thought you nurture, every belief you hold, every assumption you make about yourself and your potential becomes the blueprint for your life. If your mind is cluttered with doubt, fear, and limitation, then no matter how much effort you exert, your outcomes will reflect those limitations. Conversely, if your mind is saturated with faith in your abilities, clarity of purpose, and a conviction that you can achieve, the world responds to that internal certainty with alignment, opportunity, and success. Mindset is not simply thinking positively, it is the consistent cultivation of thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that empower you to rise above circumstances, to see possibility where others see failure, and to act boldly even when the path seems uncertain. The truth is that your external circumstances are often a mirror of your internal reality. The victories you achieve, the challenges you overcome, and the heights you reach are all determined first by what you accept as possible within your own mind. When you wake up each morning and tell yourself, "I can do this," you are consciously choosing a mindset that favors success over limitation. You are telling your mind to focus on solutions rather than problems, on opportunity rather than obstacle, on growth rather than stagnation. This declaration is powerful because it begins the day with intention. Most people drift through life as if at the mercy of circumstances, reacting to events rather than shaping them. Their mindset is passive, vulnerable to the influences of fear, doubt, and negativity. But when you cultivate a mindset of possibility, you take command of your life. You become proactive, not reactive. You see that challenges are not walls to stop you, but stepping stones to elevate you. You recognize that failure is not final, but feedback that guides you toward refinement, learning, and eventual success. Your mindset becomes a force field that attracts solutions, resources, and the people you need to achieve your purpose. The power of mindset is evident in how it transforms perception. Two people can experience the same circumstance. One sees disaster, the other sees opportunity. This is not luck, it is mindset. Your mental perspective dictates your emotional response, which then informs your actions and ultimately determines your results. If you approach the world with a mindset rooted in possibility, you will persist where others quit. You will find avenues where others encounter dead ends. You will remain focused on your goals when distractions and challenges attempt to derail you. Mindset shapes the choices you make, the risks you are willing to take, and the perseverance you demonstrate. It is the invisible engine that drives your achievements, the silent sculptor that molds your destiny according to the quality of your thoughts. Mindset also impacts your confidence. Confidence is not merely a product of experience or knowledge. It is a reflection of what you believe you are capable of achieving. A positive, empowered mindset builds confidence because it continually reminds you of your potential and your capacity to overcome obstacles. When you say, "I can do this," you are reinforcing a belief in yourself that strengthens with repetition. Each challenge you face becomes a test of your mindset, and each success, no matter how small, over time, confidence is no longer fragile. It becomes a core aspect of your character, influencing every decision you make and every action you take. Your mindset becomes your signature, a declaration to the world of the strength, resilience, and capability within you. Furthermore, mindset shapes destiny because it determines the energy you project into the world. The universe responds to the vibration of your beliefs and expectations. If you carry a mindset of limitation, hesitation, or fear, you attract circumstances and people that reinforce those beliefs. But if you cultivate a mindset of possibility, courage, and purpose, you magnetize opportunities, solutions, and alliances that reflect your internal state. This is why successful people are consistent in their thinking and belief systems. They know that their thoughts are the seeds from which their lives are grown. They carefully tend those seeds daily, nurturing them with affirmation, vision, and intentionality. Your destiny is not a matter of chance. It is the product of the mindset you cultivate and the actions that flow naturally from it. Your mindset also influences how you handle setbacks. Life will test you, challenge you, and confront you with situations that appear insurmountable. But the individual with an empowered mindset sees these challenges not as punishments or obstacles, but as opportunities for growth, learning, and refinement. They understand that setbacks are temporary, lessons are essential, and persistence is non-negotiable. A strong mindset equips you to maintain focus on your vision despite temporary difficulties, to trust the process even when immediate results are not evident, and to persevere with unwavering commitment to your purpose. In essence, mindset shapes destiny because it governs your perception, your decisions, your resilience, your confidence, and your ability to attract the circumstances that align with your purpose. It is the invisible hand that guides the visible outcomes of your life. When you wake up each day affirming your power and your ability, you are actively choosing a mindset that propels you toward greatness, a mindset that transforms obstacles into opportunities, and a mindset that ensures your destiny is not left to chance but shaped by deliberate, empowered thought and action. Words are not merely expressions, they are the foundation upon which action is built. Every action you take begins with what you tell yourself. Every choice you make is influenced by the internal dialogue that precedes it, and every result you achieve is the external manifestation of the statements you consistently affirm. When you wake up and say, "I can do this," you are planting the seed of action in your mind. This is not just a feel-good statement, it is a command to your body, your spirit, and your environment to align with your intention. Words create momentum. They give clarity to your purpose and provide direction to your efforts. Without words to guide your actions, you are like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly through life, subject to the currents of circumstance, rather than charting a course toward your destiny. The connection between words and action is undeniable. What you consistently speak to yourself informs the decisions you make, the risks you take, and the persistence you demonstrate in the face of difficulty. When you affirm your ability, your mind begins to seek solutions. Your attention focuses on possibilities rather than obstacles. Your body becomes energized with purpose, and your spirit is fueled with determination. Action then flows naturally because your internal environment has been prepared for success. Conversely, if your words are negative, filled with doubt, fear, or self-criticism, your actions will reflect hesitation, avoidance, and indecision. Your words are the blueprint for the life you build, and the life you experience is a reflection of the quality and power of those words. Every achievement, every breakthrough, and every success story begins with a statement of belief, a declaration of capability. Words are not idle, they are tools of creation. When you speak to yourself, "I can do this," you are setting in motion a chain reaction that transforms thought into plan, plan into effort, and effort into accomplishment. This is why so many people talk about their dreams but never realize them. They fail to recognize that their words must precede their actions. Without verbal affirmation, without declaring your capacity and your right to succeed, your actions remain tentative, unsure, and inconsistent. Words give you courage, they give you direction, and they give you the authority to act decisively. Action following words is also a matter of accountability. When you declare your intention to yourself, you create a standard against which your behavior can be measured. The person who wakes up each morning affirming, "I can do this," holds themselves accountable to their own words. They are compelled to act in alignment with their declarations because they recognize that their integrity, their growth, and their results are determined by the consistency between what they say and what they do. This principle is true in every area of life. Success is never accidental, it is intentional. The words you speak internally define the actions you take externally, and those actions shape the trajectory of your entire life. Words also empower you to overcome fear and hesitation. Fear thrives in silence and uncertainty, but spoken words are a weapon against doubt. By asserting, "I can do this," you are declaring to yourself and to the universe that you are willing to step beyond the boundaries of comfort, to challenge limitations, and to engage with opportunities that require courage and commitment. These words transform passive thinking into decisive action. They move you from a place of waiting and hoping into a position of doing and achieving. Action is the manifestation of belief, and words are the ignition that starts the engine of achievement. Furthermore, action following words creates momentum. Once you act in alignment with your affirmations, each subsequent step becomes easier, more confident, and more effective. Your words set the trajectory, and your actions propel you forward. Small actions taken consistently in alignment with positive affirmations compound over time, resulting in progress that often exceeds expectation. Without words to direct the mind, action can be aimless, sporadic, and ineffective. With words that affirm purpose and capability, every action becomes deliberate, intentional, and powerful. The principle that action follows words emphasizes the necessity of daily affirmation, not as a mere motivational exercise, but as a practical strategy for achieving results. The words you speak internally are the commands that guide your behavior. They prepare your mind for problem solving, your spirit for perseverance, and your body for disciplined effort. Life responds to your declarations, and your actions give life to those declarations. Therefore, if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to overcome obstacles and fulfill your potential, you must first speak it, believe it, and then act on it. Each morning when you tell yourself, "I can do this," you are not only motivating yourself, you are creating a roadmap for action, a plan for perseverance, and a pathway to success that moves you from intention to accomplishment. Fear is the greatest thief of potential, the silent enemy that steals confidence, paralyzes action, and keeps dreams locked in the realm of what could have been. It is a natural response, yes, but it is not a command. It is not a law. Fear exists to test your resolve, not to define your life. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced fear, yet the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is how they respond to it. Declaration is the antidote to fear. When you wake up each morning and boldly say to yourself, "I can do this," you are making a conscious choice to confront fear, not to surrender to it. You are asserting that your potential, your courage, and your purpose are far greater than any challenge, obstacle, or doubt that may arise. The act of declaration is a signal to your mind, your spirit, and your circumstances that fear does not have authority over your life. Fear thrives in silence, in hesitation, and in the absence of action. When you speak words of affirmation, when you declare your capacity to overcome, you disrupt the power of fear. It cannot thrive in a mind that is intentionally focused, confidently aligned with purpose, and firmly committed to action. Each declaration is a step toward freedom, a declaration of independence from the chains of doubt, and a statement that your life will not be dictated by uncertainty. When you say, "I can do this," you are not merely reciting words, you are commanding your inner self to rise above limitations, to see opportunity in difficulty, and to transform anxiety into resolve. Your declaration becomes a spiritual, mental, and emotional shield that empowers you to face what once intimidated you with courage and clarity. Overcoming fear through declaration is also a matter of consistency. One-time statements may provide temporary courage, but daily reinforcement embeds a deep, rooted conviction within your consciousness. The more you declare your ability, the more your subconscious mind internalizes it as truth. Fear is then diminished because it has no foothold. It cannot survive in the presence of unwavering self-belief. With repetition, your words shape your reality. You begin to recognize fear as a signal, not a stop sign. You see it as a challenge to overcome, a test of your faith in yourself, and an opportunity to demonstrate resilience. Every morning affirmation becomes a deliberate exercise in courage, training your mind to respond with action rather than retreat, with confidence rather than doubt, with determination rather than hesitation. Fear also thrives when you doubt your value and question your potential. By declaring, "I can do this," you are reaffirming your worth, your purpose, and your ability to contribute meaningfully to the world. Fear cannot hold power over someone who knows their value, who is confident in their gifts, and who understands that they are uniquely equipped to face the challenges before them. Declaration reminds you that you are not defined by past failures, by others' opinions, or by temporary setbacks. It reminds you that you possess the strength, wisdom, and resources necessary to overcome any obstacle. Each spoken affirmation becomes a tool of empowerment, reinforcing your belief that fear is merely a temporary visitor, not a permanent resident in your life. Furthermore, declaration transforms fear into motivation. When you consistently speak words of courage and capability, fear becomes a signal to act rather than a reason to retreat. It shifts from being a source of paralysis to a catalyst for focus, preparation, and intentional effort. You begin to see that fear often points you toward the areas where growth is necessary, where purpose awaits, and where opportunity lies hidden behind the challenge. Declaration trains your mind to interpret fear not as a barrier, but as an invitation to rise above, to stretch beyond comfort, and to engage fully with life's possibilities. Fear is defeated not through avoidance or wishful thinking, but through deliberate action aligned with positive affirmation. Words, when spoken with conviction, awaken the inner courage that exists within every individual. They remind you of past victories, reinforce the strength within you, and encourage you to persist even when circumstances appear daunting. Each time you declare, "I can do this," you are essentially declaring war on fear, reclaiming the territory of your mind, and affirming that your life will not be controlled by doubt or hesitation. The process of declaration transforms fear from a paralyzing force into a challenge that can be confronted, managed, and ultimately conquered, empowering you to live boldly, act decisively, and pursue your highest purpose with unwavering courage. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality, the consistent force that transforms intention into achievement and repetition into mastery. Daily discipline is not about punishment or rigidity, it is about commitment, consistency, and the deliberate choice to align your thoughts, words, and actions with your purpose. Every morning, when you wake up and affirm, "I can do this," you are practicing the first step of discipline. You are choosing to take control of your mind before the distractions, doubts, and challenges of the day have a chance to influence you. Discipline begins in small moments, in the repeated choice to act according to your values, to honor your potential, and to invest in your growth. It is the quiet, steadfast force that shapes character, molds resilience, and ensures that success is not a product of luck, but of intentional, persistent effort. Character is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in moments of decision, struggle, and consistent practice. Daily discipline teaches the mind and spirit to act regardless of feelings, circumstances, or external validation. It is the repeated affirmation of what is possible and the deliberate execution of what is necessary. When you declare, "I can do this," and follow that declaration with consistent effort, you are reinforcing the principles of responsibility, perseverance, and integrity. Discipline trains your mind to prioritize what truly matters, to focus on long-term results rather than short-term gratification, and to cultivate the habits that transform ordinary individuals into people of influence, achievement, and distinction. The practice of daily discipline is, in essence, the daily practice of becoming the person you were created to be. Consistency is the secret weapon of daily discipline. Repetition is not monotony, it is the training ground of mastery. Each morning that you wake and speak words of affirmation, you are reinforcing your mental framework, strengthening your resolve, and conditioning your character to withstand pressure, adversity, and challenge. The power of consistent action cannot be underestimated. Small, deliberate steps repeated daily compound over time to produce extraordinary results. Discipline transforms potential into skill, vision into reality, and determination into habit. Without it, talent and intention remain unfulfilled. With it, the impossible becomes achievable, and challenges that once seemed insurmountable become opportunities for growth and development. Daily discipline also cultivates self-respect and accountability. By committing to a routine of affirmation and intentional action, you are sending a message to yourself that your goals, your dreams, and your life are worth investing in. You are holding yourself accountable to the promises you make to your own mind and spirit. Discipline is not dependent on motivation, which is fleeting and unpredictable. It relies on choice, consistency, and a deep understanding that progress is achieved not in isolated bursts of energy, but in the accumulation of deliberate, purposeful actions taken day after day. This commitment strengthens character because it teaches the value of persistence, the power of integrity, and the necessity of following through on what you set out to do. Character and discipline are intertwined because discipline shapes the way you respond to challenge, opportunity, and temptation. A disciplined individual does not react impulsively. They act intentionally. They do not surrender to fleeting desires or emotions. They respond with measured, principled decisions that reflect long-term vision and purpose. Daily affirmation, when combined with disciplined action, transforms words into habits, habits into values, and values into character. Your consistent practice of self-affirmation reinforces the belief in your ability, aligns your actions with your purpose, and develops the moral and mental strength necessary to achieve lasting success. Daily discipline also trains resilience, which is a hallmark of character. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles are inevitable. Discipline ensures that your response to difficulty is not dictated by fear, frustration, or distraction, but by intentional effort, focus, and perseverance. By choosing to practice daily affirmation and consistent action, you are training yourself to remain steadfast in pursuit of your goals, regardless of external circumstances. Over time, this resilience becomes part of your identity, shaping the way you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. You learn that success is not merely a result of talent or luck, but of consistent, disciplined action aligned with clear intention. Finally, discipline nurtures purpose and fulfillment. Each morning, each affirmation, and each deliberate action strengthens your connection to your vision, aligns your energy with your goals, and reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to accomplish. Discipline transforms potential into productivity, dreams into reality, and intention into legacy. It shapes character because it teaches patience, persistence, and the profound truth that greatness is not a moment, but a journey built step by step, day by day, through unwavering commitment to self-mastery and purposeful living. As we draw this message to its final thought, understand this: your life is a reflection of what you tell yourself every single day. Your words are seeds, and your actions are the harvest. When you wake up each morning and declare, "I can do this," you are not merely speaking, you are commanding your spirit, shaping your mind, and directing your destiny. The challenges you face, the doubts that rise, the fears that whisper, they are all temporary when confronted with the unwavering conviction that you are capable. Greatness is not reserved for the few. It is cultivated by those who dare to affirm their potential, act with discipline, and persist despite circumstances. You have been entrusted with gifts, talents, and a purpose uniquely yours. Every word you speak to yourself, every choice you make, every step you take builds the architecture of your future. Remember, life responds to clarity, courage, and consistency. Your belief becomes your reality. Your declarations become your actions, and your actions become your legacy. Do not wait for someone else to validate your purpose, and do not allow fear to dictate your pace. The authority to succeed resides within you. Speak to yourself with power, discipline yourself with intention, and face each day with the unshakable assurance that you were designed to accomplish, to overcome, and to rise. This is your call to embrace the truth of your own potential, to declare it, to act on it, and to let every morning remind you that you are capable of greatness. The moment you choose to affirm, "I can do this," you step into a life of possibility, a life of courage, and a life of purpose that no circumstance, no challenge, and no doubt can ever take from you. Rise each day, speak with conviction, act with discipline, and watch as your life transforms because you dared to believe, dared to declare, and dared to do what you were created to do.